4th and goal to go to the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
But one thing that is that looks like Mr. Flott. I mean, he's been doing pretty good. I mean, I'm going to show you the PFF numbers. Okay, that's what I'm going to show you, right? But he's looks like he may be keeping Mr. Tay Banks on the bench. Now, of course, this is Flott. This is right. We got the Fab Four, if you want to call it that, right? Micah McFadden, Wando Robinson, Dane Belton, CorDale Flott. Those 4 guys. These are contract years, right? I hope we bring back McFadden, right? I hope we can bring him back. Wandale, hope we bring him back, right? If we're going to have Flott, right, as the number 2 cornerback, I mean, this is his last year, right? Hope we bring him back. And then Belton is a good option at the number 3 safety, right? All our safeties are dinged up. Hopefully, now that we have a week and a half off, that'll help, right? Everybody will get some rest and all that. But they all got somebody. Newman's got a groin. Was it Holland's got his neck or a back or something? So Belton's got a little something. But tell you what, Belton does a very good job of being around the ball, shall we say? It was his first play ever. He recovered the fumble against the Panthers on a kickoff, right? He punched the ball out. So he does a pretty good job. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying that. I mean, but right, for somebody who's not going to command a lot of money on the open market, right, to have him as your third, safety. And I said he does did a great job of punching that ball out. Right, so interesting to see. But Flott, right? That huge. I mean, that was a huge interception. Man, that was big, right? Because the Eagles were driving, right? And he played off them, and he just played him played Hurts like a violin. Dropped off a little bit in coverage. Just throws the ball. Saquon pushed him out of bounds. So I say, hey, got to give Saquon a lot of credit. He took the right angle, pushed him out of bounds. So, but that was huge. But let me show you here. I mean, Flott, pretty good numbers. Tay Banks, I think if I'm not mistaken, according to PFF, okay, Banks' numbers are getting worse each year. Let me share the screen here. All right. Give me a second here. I got 37,000. There we go. Tabs open. All right, here we go. Here's Flott, right? What did he do? He even had the Eagle game up there, right? I mean, not too bad. His tackling. He must have missed some tackles. Yeah. See, he missed one tackle. Apparently, according to them, he had 4 chances to make tackles. He missed one. So he missed one out of 25%. Not too good. Now you also see here, right? He missed a tackle here. He missed a tackle there. Okay, so a couple of these games, his tackling has been a little suspect. But in the other games too, his tackling has been pretty good. Okay, so he's had some issues. The first game of the season against Washington, he didn't play too well, according to PFF. Kansas City game didn't play too well, but notice the other game against Dallas, 85. Chargers, 63 last week against Nolan, 71 this week against Philadelphia, 68.4. His coverage grade, look at his coverage grades, 67.5, 86.5, 50, 62, 67.9, 73. I mean, we're not asking him to be the number 1 cornerback, right? He's the number 2 cornerback. His problem is a lot of times he gets injured. Let's hope he can stay healthy, right? But if we look here, okay, all right, he's been thrown at right there. 25 times. He's given up 16, 64% completion rate. Right? He's given up 178 yards so far in the season, 11.1 yards of reception. Yak yards. He's only given up 32 yards. So if he does give up a completion, for the most part, he's freaking right there to make the tackle. Guys don't break away from him and run for another 30 yards or something like that. He's right there. Okay. He hasn't given up a touchdown this year, and obviously he has the one interception. Let's see, what does he have? Say pass breakups? So what do we got here? He has 4 pass breakups on the season. Not bad. So you figure for the whole season he would have at that rate, well, 11, somewhere around there, 11 pass breakups on the season. That's not bad, right? But you also notice here, right, he played, I guess he must have played darn near, every snap. 54. What did the Eagles? Let's see. The Eagles ran the ball 20 times, and they threw it 33, so that's 53. And then they got a 3 sacks, 53, 57. So he played darn near every snap. He might have missed a few snaps. Might have been about it. So he played almost darn near every snap. So he did. You'll look the last 2 games, right? Against Nolans, he was in there for 59 snaps, graded out of 71. These are some nice solid grades here. It's from your number 2 cornerback, right? And here, he would have graded out higher, but he missed the 1 tackle, right? That pulled him down. His run defense was a little sus, according to PFF, right? But all in all, even when he missed 1 tackle and his run defense, he's still graded at 68.4. So, but you'll notice here, right? One thing, his first 2 years, right? Let's see, he played 3. He did have some injuries, right? Oops. But his rookie year, he's 338, and graded at 67.8, right? But you'll notice, his coverage grade's not too bad, right? His rookie season, second season, he graded at 53.4. Last season, 62.2. But this season, 70.8. Now, some of it also might happen to be, right? It just happens to be a contract year, right? It's amazing. Sometimes, like that was when Leonard Williams, I think he got into a contract year with the Giants. I think that was his 1 year with the Giants. I think he got like double-digit sacks. He had like 11 sacks 1 year. I think that was a contract. It's amazing how well some of these guys play when it's a contract year, right? But if you notice here, right? Yeah, 70.8. Now, to be fair, right, he's the number 2 cornerback, so usually he's going against maybe the number 2 or whatever wide receiver on the other team, so he's not going against their number 1, right? That's Paulson Adebo's, right? But, hey, for number 2, he's grading out a 70.8 so far this season. That's pretty darn good. Hopefully we can bring him back. But, so you got him at a 70.8, okay? And then you got... Then you got Mr. Banks here. Let's see here. All right. Once again, I do apologize. I got to find it here. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, Flott's at a 70. Banks is at a 45. And each now, some of this has definitely got to be coaching. Yeah. Right. His first year was a 51. Then he went down to a 50.9. Now, this season's still early, right? But he's at a 45.2. Right? Now, his tackling is the worst it's been. Right? So, what do we got here? Right? He's given 75% completion. He's only been targeted 8 times, but he's been giving up 6 completions. He's given up a touchdown. He has no interceptions. He only has 2 interceptions on his career. And he's given up 11 touchdowns in his career to 2 interceptions. Right? So, this is, each year he's getting worse. Now, a lot of that, I believe, firmly has to do with coaching, right? Oh, that's right. Yeah, here we go. He was in for 3 plays. So, Flott was on for 54 out of the 57 plays the Eagles had. Banks was in there for 3, right? But against the same thing with the Saints, Banks is only on for 8 plays, right? Against, let's see, the Chargers. See, these plays when they were kind of like splitting, right? Flott got, I guess, a majority of the plays, right? Against the Chargers, you graded a 58, a 57. Against Dallas, he was a 39, right? But so Banks are 45. So, not impressive. What do you think the issue is with Philly? Oh, well, I know Saquon apparently has a bad knee. Obviously, that's not helping. Jalen Carter wasn't there last night either, so that doesn't help them either. I know they lost. They did lose some really good free agents during the season. To be honest, just totally honest with you, I hate the Eagles. And when you start getting up around my age, I'm getting a little. I'm heading into the fourth quarter of life. If I'm lucky, I'm heading into the fourth quarter. Okay, so I have another hopefully 20 years or so. Yeah, life's short. Okay, I only have so much time left to live. I hate the Eagles, and I can't even talk about them. I'm not going to sit there and watch play, and I'd rather slit my throat, really. Okay, just to be honest, I can't. I will not waste my time. I hate them. Absolutely can't stand. That's what you get from living down here for so many years. I've been here born in New York in 1964. I moved here in 1977. So I spent my first 13 years in Long Island. Okay, then I moved down here to South Jersey. I'm about 20 minutes from Philadelphia. So 1977. So I've been here for almost 50 years. Right, just can't stand them. But to be fair, I know Saquon. He's a little bit banged up. I am very shocked. Kellen Moore last year, obviously, was their offensive coordinator. They had a lot of the same guys a couple of years ago. They had A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, phenomenal offensive line. And they started off 10-1, I think it was, 2 years ago. Then they totally fell apart. Then they got Kellen Moore, who was their offensive coordinator last season. Right? Kellen Moore came from, I think it was the Cowboys, I think it was. I think that's where he came from. But he was there last year, and he did a phenomenal job. He's, right? I think. Let me say. I mean, this is just because these coaches jump around so much. Kellen Moore. Let's see here. Here we go. Wikipedia. He was with the Cowboys for a while, right? Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, my bad. He was with the Cowboys from 2019 to 2022, and then he became the Chargers offensive coordinator in 2023, and then he went to the Eagles for 2024. Okay, so he was with the Cowboys for a while, but he was with the Chargers for 1 year, and then he went to the Eagles last season, and now of course he's the Saints head coach, right? But I know he's really good offensive wise minded. And what he had them doing last year was just, was feed Saquon. Saquon was very healthy last season. So were the Eagles, very, very healthy last season. And of course, they have a phenomenal offensive line. Stuff works off of Saquon. You can run the ball. You can do just about anything. And you can run the ball, and you got a running quarterback, right? And then you got 2 number 1 wide receivers out there. You can do, and Dallas Goedert's a phenomenal, really good. I'm not going to put him in top 3 tight end or something. He's really good, So you got those guys out. You can do pretty much anything, as I said. And then Kellen Moore, with his money, and you can see the results. Their defense was phenomenal last season, and their offense was really, really good. And healthy Saquon, 2,000 yards. If he played in the final game of the season last year against the Giants, he would have broke the rushing record. He probably would have broken it at halftime against the Giants. Then they could have sat him for the right, So Kellen Moore's not there. A lot of it's got to do with coaching. But also one thing Lane Johnson was talking about after the game was over with, he was kind of hoping that the Eagles' offense would be less predictable. Apparently, I guess they're doing a lot of the same things over and over, and you can't be doing that. And as I said, I don't sit there and watch the Eagle game film and all that stuff, But apparently, you listen to Lane Johnson, the Eagles' offense has been somewhat predictable. I mean, A.J. Brown's been complaining he's not getting a lot of balls thrown his way. Dallas Goedert had a lot of catches against us, but I mean, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if their offense is predictable, but I do know that, Kellen Moore's not there. So maybe whoever's calling the offensive plays is he's not as imaginative as Moore is. That's what happens a lot of times with these coaches. They're here 1 year and then they're gone. I mean, that's the thing. You really, really do good as a coordinator and you're a wanted man, especially as a head coach, right? Now you look at like somebody, it takes Steve Spagnuolo, right? Who was the defensive coordinator for the Giants when we won Super Bowl 42, right? He did a phenomenal job. The Giants had a good defense, had good players, but we had a good defense, right? And he was the mastermind. But then he went to the Rams as their head coach, and he's not a good coach. Just because you're a good coordinator doesn't make you a good coach, right? So we'll find out. The Saints so far are really nothing to write home about, right? But one thing I could obviously say with the Eagles is that they might miss their coordinator, Kellen Moore. Right, so that's possible. Right. All right, what do we got here next? Oh, we're Flott. I want to finish up here with Flott. The former Alabama prep star rewards New York Giants confidence. In the middle of the biggest play in the NFL career so far, New York Giants quarterback CorDale Flott had turning it into his first touchdown of his pro career, not getting tackled by the opposing quarterback on his mind. Flott had picked off Jalen Hurts and was racing down the sideline at top speed of 20.82 miles per hour, according to next gen stats. So almost 21 miles an hour. But Saquon took the correct angle. Saquon's fast. We all know that, and pushed him out of bounds. So Saquon pushed him out of bounds at the 23-yard line at the end of a 68-yard interception return. Saquon's actually faster than I thought, Flott said. I never just ran beside him like that, but he actually got wheels, so good for him. I wish he would have let me have it. Wow. Barkley's hustle also delayed 6 points for the Giants. So actually, in the long run, it actually panned out for the Giants because the Giants scored, but they ran time off the clock. So actually, Barkley's hustle, Barkley did what he was supposed to do. Yeah, it's not like, let him have let Flott score a touchdown right, so we can get the ball back. No, he did what he was supposed to do, but it actually benefited the Giants. The Giants ran the clock, right, and then scored the touchdown. So when Flott made his third NFL interception, the Eagles had reached the New York 15-yard line, trying to reduce to 20. I mean, regardless, right? That was at least a 10-point swing right there because the Giants got the 7 points off of the touchdown, but they at the least took away 3 points from the Eagles. Giving them the field goal, right? So that's a 10-point swing right there. That was a huge play. Flott's interception set up Cam Scattergood's third touchdown. Since the Philadelphia took a 17-13 lead in the second quarter, the Giants posted a 34-17 victory. Flott became the first player to intercept the pass by Hurts this season as he jumped the throw to wide receiver Jahan Dotson at the Giants' 9-yard line. Just football IQ, Flott said. I was focused. I was dialed in. When I had that cut split, I kind of figured that route was coming, and I reacted to it. I had to capitalize on the moment, and I did. Flott played 54 of the 57 defensive snaps Thursday night. He entered the game having played a little less than 80% of the Giants' defensive snaps in 2025. While Flott has started every game and played most of the cornerback snaps in tandem with Paulson and Debo, New York has been subbing in Deonte Banks for Flott. Banks is the 2023 first-round draft pick who started his first 2 seasons with the Giants. Before Thursday night's game, New York decided to let Flott just stay on the field. And he knew that. He knew he was going to be on the field the whole game, pretty much. New York coach Brian Dable said that the coaches had decided to let Flott handle all the situations at cornerback after Sunday's 26-14 loss to the previously winless Saints. Part of it was our game plan for what we were going to do, Dable said on Friday. Still having confidence in Banks, but just going into the game really at the start of the week. That's the plan that we did have. Flott did a really good job for us. Made a huge play. You ain't kidding. Absolutely huge play. No question. I mean, because that, that allowed the Giants not only to run the clock, but put the Giants up by 3 scores. I mean, 3 is, whew. So that was absolutely fantastic.